Welcome back. All right, it is time to make our picks for Sunday's free-to-play Super 6 contest. Terry Bradshaw putting up $1 million this week. One of the matchups, Packers at Bucks. Nick, give me a winner, and by how many?
Packers by 10. I was told to be quick here.
Wow.
I think it's a close game. The Packers are up 3. Brady fails on a 4th down. Does know it's 4th down, though, so that's an improvement.
It's a 3rd.
Aaron Rodgers goes down and scores a touchdown to ice it. Packers by 10, Brandon.
Hey, whoever wins that million needs to give me 15% because it's going to be Packers by 3 because this is strength on strength. Number 2 offense versus the number 2 defense. So that's my pick, and I need my percentage.
Okay, I'll go the other way. I'll also say Packers at 3, but you only need to give me 10%. So we can push Brandon right out of it, Jenna. Give Kevin Wildes 10%. Brandon's left holding the bag.
It's good.
All right, make sure you get your picks in before kick-up on Sunday.
Don't Shark
for your
Tank me.
chance to win $1 million of Terry Bradshaw's money. Wildes, I love you. All right, let's get back to last night's big news out of the NFL. Le'Veon Bell is a Kansas City Chief. The defending Super Bowl champ signed the 3-time Pro Bowl running back to a 1-year deal. It's a big boost for KC's offense. They've been relying heavily on the rookie, on running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Our quarterback, Mike Vick, who's played for Andy Reid and with L. Bell, is joining us right now. All right, Mike, how do you think Andy Reid gets the best and the most out of Le'Veon Bell after 2 very unproductive years with the Jets?
The one thing Andy's going to do, I will say, is get the most out of Le'Veon in every way that he can. And when I looked at this situation, when I seen the signing yesterday, instantly I just thought about the way he used Brian Westbrook. Brian was very versatile. You can use him in the backfield, out the backfield. You can put him in the slot 5 wide. You can do so much with him, and that's what Le'Veon Bell presents. When we was in Pittsburgh, we used to flex him out at receiver and let him go one-on-one with linebackers and defensive backs, and even safeties sometimes, depending on the matchup and who that team thought could handle Le'Veon. So even in the run game, and I know people think that Le'Veon is going to be the guy in between the tackles, outside the tackles, zone reader, he can do wildcat. But, you know, this guy doesn't even need a lane to run the football. He creates his own lanes with his patience. So, you know, Andy has watched plenty of film on Le'Veon and know how much he has left in the tank and what he can do. And right now, all Andy is thinking about is keeping defensive coordinators up all night. And Le'Veon Bell is going to be a big reason that this team continues to flourish, you know, as a football team.
Vic, you talked about putting L. Bell out in the slot. In your career, you threw 15 passes to Le'Veon Bell. 14 of them were completed. And while you were a good completion percentage guy, you weren't a 92% completion percentage guy. So I would imagine part of that is because a lot of those passes were screens. Like they were designed screenplays to Le'Veon Bell. We know Andy Reid loves drawing up screenplays. How do you think they use him in the screen game in Kansas City?
Oh, yeah, Andy's the master of the screen game. And the one thing that makes this offense go is him being able to screen teams and keep them off balance. And whether it's in 2nd and long situations, 3rd and long situations, they'll even surprise you sometimes on 1st down with a screen. But when he can be versatile in the screen game, and he has the guy who knows how to run the screen game and knows how to work off his blocking assignments, you know, when he touches the ball in the screen game, you know, it just makes the offense that much better. And, you know, not just with the screens, it's just where you can align Le'Veon is what makes him special. And then his hands is superb. You know, I seen him make some of the toughest catches over cornerbacks, guys who are some of the elite in terms of getting their hands on the football and ball skills. So this is an unbelievable signing for Andy, and I mean, it just has success written all over it.
Real quick, Mike, some housekeeping things here. First of all, thank you so much for being a good teammate, not wearing a tie. It's been 170-something days since someone has worn a tie on the show. Look at this guy, Wildes, wearing a tie in his living room, first of all. Second,
he's so mad about this.
You see, he looks good. He looks good, but he shouldn't be wearing a tie. Second, I am celebrating the Chiefs because the Chiefs chose my analysis over Nick Wright's analysis, who is hometown boy, okay, when announcing Le'Veon Bell. So that's why I'm wearing the red and the burgundy or whatever you want to call it. What do you guys call that, huh? Yeah. But anyways, look, let's go back to those highlights that you had. All right, let's go back to those highlights real quick that you showed of Le'Veon Bell, Ketta. I want to show you guys something about what makes this guy special. I talked about it yesterday. I said, if they get this guy, let's talk about him as the receiver and not the running back. Let's see it. Let's throw it up there. So you're going to see this play come up where he runs a slant, and he catches this touchdown. This is important. Yeah. He runs this better than 90% of all receivers in the NFL. His feet, it's critical that you understand this. The quarterback is taking a 3-step drop. That is the quick game. My feet as the receiver needs to match up with Mike Vick's. So you look at his patience. He's not doing that to be cute. He's doing that because of timing. He's waiting for Mike Vick, Ben Roethlisberger to get into their drop and throw the ball. Timing is critical. And look how he caught the ball. That is a tough catch. He caught that ball this way. Ask Chris Carter, ask Jerry Rice. That is tough for a running back to do. This is why he's special, and this is why it's going to be dangerous pairing him with Andy Reid.
Oh, for sure. And when you talk about the move that he made off the line of scrimmage, that's just something that most running backs can't do. I mean, he put himself in a position where, you know, only he can catch the football. And you know, Le'Veon Bell is basically unguardable when he's put out in the slot and when he's put out wide. I've seen it firsthand, and I know how much he's worked with Ben Roethlisberger and making him a success in doing that. So this is one of the things that he brings to the table. For any team that he plays for, I just think the Jets didn't use him correctly.
And Kevin, really quickly before you go, it's important that you guys understand that it's going to take time. It may take a couple weeks for him and Mahomes to get on the same page because that footwork, Mahomes got to figure out how he moves. He got to look at his body language. It's going to take him a couple weeks to watch him in practice to see how he sinks his hips, to see how he moves his feet at the top of his route. So it's going to take a couple weeks, but when they get it down, it's going to be lights out, Wilds.
Okay, that's exactly what I wanted to talk about, Brandon. If I was Le'Veon Bell, and Nick, I'll ask you, you can play Andy Reid. If you have a face mask available, throw it on, Nick. I'll be like, hey, coach, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He's got 98 touches, 7th most in the league, most by a rookie. It's me, Le'Veon Bell. I got something to prove. I never had a 100-yard game. I had 260-some-odd carries. I never broke a run for 20 yards. November 1st, the Jets come into Arrowhead. I just want to cook the Jets.
Ooh.
I want to cook I want to cook Adam Gase. If he's still even there, yeah. I want to cook him. Nick, do you think that is I don't even know if this happens in the NFL, but do you think Andy Reid is receptive to that request to be like, hey, I got a little personal beef here. Can I cook against the Jets? Or you think it's like, no, business as usual, it is what it is?
No, well, I think he will be receptive to it because it's the opponent that it is. Not because it's Le'Veon Bell's former team, but Andy Reid, they could pick a fan to score a touchdown in that game against the Jets, and they'd be able to do it. So I do think part of it is, all right, listen, Le'Veon, we're going to do our scripted plays. We're going to get it going.
100%.
Once we're up 27-3, I'll have maybe a little special package for you. You want to throw a pass?
No, well,
you want to do a little wildcat? Like Brandon, I do think if that game goes the way we think it will, right, that they'll let Le'Veon have some special plays in that game.
100%, Mike, and you know this real quickly, man. Like, when you go into a new team and there's coaches that, you know, and you're playing against your former team, they'll throw you out there as a captain. They'll say something before the night of the game. They'll give you a play or two. Not every coach do it, but for the most part, coaches do that. This is a thing, Wilds.
Nice.
Andy Reid gets a kick out of that. I've been around him enough. He gets a kick out of guys going against their former teams, especially when there's been a little animosity. He'll cook up some plays just so Le'Veon Bell can have some success and so he can, you know, not really taunt his former team, but show them what they're missing out on. And I think he takes pride and showing that, look, I'm a coach that know how to use this guy. This is how you're supposed to use this guy. I know Andy. I know how he cooked it up.
All right, two of the best going head-to-head on Sunday. Brady, Rodgers, one game, two quarterbacks, always just 4 downs. We'll preview that matchup next. First things first.